Now, with Consairtín 2026 just around the corner, Ennis is getting ready to welcome concertina players and traditional music lovers from all over the country and beyond. The 4-day festival, now in its 13th year, promises a packed programme of workshops, concerts and sessions celebrating the very best of Irish trad. And joining me to tell us more is the festival organiser from Crusheen, Tim Collins. Tim, good morning to you. And you're also joined by Karen McMahon, who's a lead tutor at the Irish Concertina Orchestra,
good morning.
Is run by Music Generation Clare. Welcome to studio, Karen.
Thanks, Alan. Thank you.
So look, it's another packed programme as ever, Tim. I'm sure you know it wasn't stressful at all to organise.
Never.
Well,
no. When you have somebody like Anya Hensey as your co-director, it's never stressful because she's
a very capable
an
woman.
administrator's dream anyway, isn't it, for sure.
So tell us a bit what the kind of the ethos of Consairtín is all about. And you know, we're into the 13th year, so it's clearly going very successfully. How has it grown over the years?
Yeah, it's been brilliant, really. It's a fantastic journey over the last 13 years, and of course we've seen lots of changes, but all very, very positive, really. The Consairtín, of course, is as popular as ever, if not even more popular than it was way back in 2014.
Has the event itself helped to, give it a spotlight, I guess?
I think so.
Make it seem cool for the younger generations?
I think so. I mean, people would, I think, right across the globe who are involved with the Consairtín would still recognise Clare as being the home of the Concertina, and it's hard to argue that point when you see so many, when you go back to the history of the instrument, you see so many luminaries of the instrument coming from the county, and of course transmission is so important, as I've said to you before, and including this girl beside me who had called out to Crusheen a few times when she was a younger girl, and here Karen is teaching as well now, and of course involved with Music Generation Clare with the Irish Concertina Orchestra. She'll talk about that in a while, but it's been great. I mean, our ethos really is to provide a platform for performance of the concertina by young people primarily, and also a platform for learning. Okay. And that's why we bring a really fantastic host of musicians, concertina players, to pass on their skills, and that's why the concertina is so popular. There's such brilliant transmission of skills and tradition around it. And
I'll get you to kind of give us a brief run through of what people can expect from this year's event. But Karen, just to bring you in, Tim has given a hint as to kind of the genesis of your association with the Concertina. What makes it such a special instrument in Irish trad music? Why did you want to learn? And it's kind of really opened up avenues for you now with the Concertina Orchestra as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess when you're starting out, it's definitely quite accessible. You can see even when I'm teaching kids now, like you can see the progress, like with fiddles and different things like that. It can be really tricky, like with tuning and different things like that. Whereas with the concertina, once you have your few notes, you can start making tunes straight away. And yeah, that's definitely an attractive element for young kids starting out, I would think.
Yeah, I think, if they can't, whatever instrument it is you're learning at the start as a child, if you don't see a productive result coming soon, that can be the big barrier.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they lose interest straight away. So yeah, and like as there's so many different things going on around Clare, like with the Crenew in Milltown, and then Consairtín, and then obviously with our work in Music Generation with the Irish Concertina Orchestra, there's just so many different avenues for kids to perform and learn from different people. So yeah, no, it's definitely a great instrument.
And tell us a bit more about the Concertina Orchestra.
Yeah, so I suppose through work with Music Generation Clare, which Padraig Grinn, obviously a great concertina player, is the head of, Irish Concertina Orchestra has been developed. So I think it's in its 6th or 7th year now. So basically we work with myself, Conor O'Loughlin, Maeve Holland and Ciara Tighe, we're the tutors. So we work with nearly 30 kids this year from across the country. So we have kids coming up from West Cork, kids from Dublin. So we'd rehearse every second Saturday in the LCETB building there in Ennis, in preparation for our gala concert at the end of May. So yeah, we've had wonderful concertina people working with us this year. We've had Saran Mulligan, Ernestine Healy, Kathleen Gown compose pieces for us. So yeah, basically the kids come up, we do our rehearsals, and it just gives them a great chance to get to know other concertina players that they'd then see, at the Flas and different things. So yeah, a wonderful opportunity for them to learn and to develop relationships within the music circles.
Yeah, and it must be lovely to hear that, Tim, the hearing that kids are coming from all corners of the country country, to know that the instrument has a bright future, is in safe hands, and to be opportunities to learn from great tutors between the 9th and 12th of April. That's only one aspect of the many different elements of Consairtín.
Yeah, I mean, there's a strong ethos of learning. So we have our specialist workshops, and we then have our general classes that run from Thursday until Sunday. That's a very important part of it. But also, I mean, there's the more enjoyable part of it, which is the concerts and the recitals. Like we've a really interesting programme this year. If I don't mind starting with our launch on Thursday, we've Liam O'Brien, himself, of course, a very, very well-known concertina player, who's the Clare Digital Access and Development Officer with the ITMA, based here now in Clare, and Liam is doing the cutting the cord, or cutting the ribbon this for this year's festival. But then we also kind of have a more academic bent to it as well. Like we have a lady called Amy McFarland, who is a musician and a researcher, American based, and she's doing a presentation after the launch, actually on Thursday, open to the public, exploring and celebrating women concertina players who began playing in the 1970s and 1980s. That's a really interesting period in terms of development of the instrument, and also a time kind of where women became more visible. And so Amy has taken that on board to explore that, and it's going to be kind of very interesting conversations on the night, with mixed obviously with music. So that's something that we're looking forward to. Okay. And that's been chaired by Dr. Maeve Neuron, who's a former colleague of mine from the Centre for Irish Studies in NUIG. And then, of course, we've our concerts. As we said, I suppose the big concert is our gala concert in St. Columba's on Saturday night. That'll feature, as Karen said, the Irish Concertina Orchestra, Micheál and Maeve O'Reilly. Micheál O'Reilly, of course, one of the leading lights of concertina for many generations now, for many decades now. Rena Healy, of course, who won the Bonor, Sean O'Reilly, just recently, a Clare woman. Suze, an exciting new group with Caelan Wren, Padraig's young lad. And then we've Clumore, Shinsa Gailin group finalists, who are going to be playing with us as well. So we've lots of different things. I mean, really, the idea is if you go on to concertina.ie, you're going to see the full programme.
Get the full programme there. Okay, tons happening, which I guess, you know, the fact that there's so much and there's variety is a key element of the success, I guess, of Consairtín as well. We're going to play a piece for us.
We might as well, sure.
I'm just demanding music here now. Entertain me and the listeners.
What are we doing again, Karen?
So we're going to play a selection of reels for you. We'll do Last Night's Fun and The Gullah Rambler.
Okay, brilliant stuff. Karen McMahon and Tim Collins in your own time.
Do.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you very, very much. Tim Collins there and Karen McMahon. That was fantastic. Thanks, guys.
You,
and make sure you check out Consairtín 2026 happening from the 9th to the 12th of April. And as Tim mentioned a while ago, check out the website for the full run of what you can expect. As ever, Tim, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you, Alan,
great to have you. Great to have you in as well, Karen McMahon too.